Lawmakers in Alabama are trying to find a solution to a state Supreme Court ruling that effectively ended the practice of in vitro fertilization. The state's House and Senate have both passed bills protecting doctors and clinics that perform IVF, but the bill does not address the recent ruling that frozen embryos have the same rights as children. For more on this, I want to bring in CBS News political campaign reporter Shawna Mizelle. Shawna, good to see you.
Good morning, Vlad, Jared.
So what does the current Alabama ruling say about IVF, and what does it do to address the concerns of IVF doctors and clinics?
So that Alabama Supreme Court ruling said that embryos from IVF, in vitro fertilization, are deemed children. And so what these lawmakers are really trying to do is quell the concerns that have arisen from that decision. Them saying that embryos are children regardless of the location actually led to the closure or the pausing in operations of 3 IVF clinics in the state of Alabama. So this legislation that Alabama lawmakers are working on seeks to add protections for those clinics and providers who provide those in vitro fertilization services so they cannot be sued.
Shawna, what are you hearing from lawmakers on Capitol Hill about this? There have been some rumblings about trying to get federal legislation around this issue.
Yeah, so I spoke with 2 Democratic congresswomen, both who went through in vitro fertilization to have their children. And I want to play a little bit of what they told me. Both were Congresswomen Lori Trahan and Susie Lee.
Well, it was a gut punch because my heart went out to all the women in Alabama who are using IVF as a way to start their family, many times as a last resort or their only hope.
I want people to understand that infertility is an illness and IVF is a treatment. This is a healthcare decision. It is one that couples, that individuals make, and they should be able to make that decision and have control of making that decision.
So they both have a personal stake in the issue of IVF. They said that they want federal legislation to be passed, although that they do not think that lawmakers should have to get involved in an issue like this. And they also pointed out that they think that this will have reverberating effects as it relates to the November election.
So speaking about those effects, Shawna, what's the likelihood that we could see similar legislation in other states?
I think that remains to be seen whether other states will take up legislation, but other state lawmakers are definitely paying attention. So you had in Florida where lawmakers were working on a fetal personhood bill that amid the Alabama decision, they actually paused all of the work on that.
Shawna, thank you so much.